Okay, so I was gonna say that A Night of a Thousand Laughs, when you talk of Nigerian comedy,
Yep.
it's classic.
It is.
It's classic. So kudos to you for joining that lineup. Because not everyone, even the new ones now, they can't say they've done that, you know?
Yep.
So that's nice. Okay. So CY, The American Adventure, right?
Great.
What was your best memory of that production since you were headlining it?
It was the best part of the production was the fact that I was able to actually pour out my be on stage for an hour.
An hour, okay.
Because I've done that before, but not professionally. Maybe at okay, I remember I did an event for a company and something went wrong with some of the things they were supposed to do. So I started talking.
Right.
I started cracking jokes. I went on for like, I think an hour plus. So, but this one was very intentional. And I wrote the jokes, and the jokes were actually tailored around, the theme. So that was, one of the best part of that production for me, that I could be on stage for an hour telling jokes I wrote. I co-wrote because I also had some people write for me. Shout out to Open Tita and Nothing Do Me. They are the comedians in Nigeria,
Right.
Yeah, so that was it for me.
Okay, so up and coming comedians now in Nigeria, abroad, Europe, US, you have any advice for them? Because they want to do that one day. They want to follow in the footsteps of you legends who've done your own show and who've been in classics like Night of a Thousand Lives. Yeah. What advice do you have for up and coming comedians?
Oh, I have a couple of them, but I would like to say this. First of all, I think one of the challenges we're having right now in the industry is that every young comedian wants to have that overnight success, which is something, I'm not saying it's not possible.
Right.
A comedian once said something, I don't know if you know Makboro. He said it in Pidgin. I'm going to say it in Pidgin and I interpret for our international audience. He said, some people they talk, say, I just come. He say, I don't they come, now you no see me. In other words, people say, I just popped out from nowhere.
Right.
I've been coming, but you didn't take notice. So a lot of these young folks, they just see success these days. They see people, the likes of the Baskets, the AY, Acapella, and Forever, and these guys, having successes. They don't know that these guys have grinded, or people like us, we've grinded. And I'm not saying you should suffer before you make it, but there are certain things you need to learn, certain rules, because comedy is a craft.
Right.
And every craft has its rules. It has its I don't want to say boundaries, but it has some things, there are skills to it. And a lot of them think it's just holding the mic and saying something funny. But the advice I would have for them is try to learn the ropes, be patient, because like they say, old wine tastes better.
Right.
I'm not saying you should spend 100 years before you blow, but I would say try to sit down under some tutelage. We did. We had mentors. I had mentors that I used to go follow to events, to sit down and watch them do their thing.
Right.
Then I learned one or two things.
Right.
I remember the Nigerian King of Comedy said something to me one time. He said, you don't have to be vulgar to be funny. I mean, no shade to anybody that says it's vulgar jokes or whatever. I mean, I don't have a problem, honestly. But, I mean, he said you don't have to.
That's true.
If you're funny, you're funny. So, and I picked that because it's my style of comedy. I do ethical kind of comedy.
Okay. Yeah, so that's going to lead to the next question, because I feel like comedy is so essential for Nigerians.
Yep.
Due to the state of the country,
Wala.
government, fuel, electricity, whatever, we use comedy to better our lives.
Honestly.
So how do you tailor your comedy for us, for Nigerians? Because comedy is so important to us.
My materials are actually I tell stories about where I come from. So, and we have a lot of funny stories.
Right.
Nigerians are generally funny, I can tell you.
I agree.
So, and there are a lot of funny stories. So I pick from those stories, from my experiences. For example, coming into this country, I tell the story of my culture shock that I didn't know. That here, the way they call things is different from the way they call them. For example, what you call biscuits here.
Right.
In America, it's not what we call biscuits. I went into a 7-Eleven. I told them I want to buy biscuits. And the guy was looking at me. I said, yes, biscuits. He said, no, we don't sell no biscuits. Biscuits. And this thing was across the road, Popeye.
Right.
And I was like, no, Popeye's biscuits. And I was like, biscuits.
Right.
So I crossed and went to Popeye's and they gave me something that looks like cake.
Right.
And I came back, I was pissed off. I said, sir, this is not what I'm looking for.
Right.
I said, biscuits. He said, oh, cookies. I said, yeah, so
right.
Those are the stories, and we have lots of those stories that I tailor it to, most especially Nigerians can relate to these things.
Right.
Most especially Nigerians that are here in America,
right.
they relate to these stories. Yeah.